Right, ladies and gentlemen from around the world, my name is Dr. Samuel Jacobs-Abbey, and I am so excited today to have the opportunity to welcome all of you from around the world to our Changemakers Forum. Our Changemakers Forum is an initiative of the Jacobs-Abbey Global Institute for Leadership Studies in collaboration with the African Scholars, African Academy of African Scholars. And the purpose of this group is to identify individuals who are doing great work from around the world, whose work is known to a certain group of people or circle of people. But our intent is to take their work and put it out there so that the world will get to know about the amazing work that these individuals are doing around the world. Today, we are so privileged that, in spite of all the challenges around the world, we are so privileged to have Ambassador Dr. Regina Inem, who is going to be our guest. And once we come back from our break, I will introduce and read a brief profile of her, and we'll start our conversation.
Access to healthcare has a direct impact on the quality of life of American citizens. The book, Perception of Physician Influence on Healthcare Accessibility, answers the major questions in the healthcare system, the problems it faces, and the possible solutions available. It throws the light on accessibility to healthcare in the USA and the role physicians play in making this possible. The author, Dr. Samuel Jacobs-Abbey, is the Executive Director of the Jacobs-Abbey Global Institute for Leadership Studies. He is an expert in healthcare management and policy and specializes in global health diplomacy and public health policy. He is a frequent speaker at the United Nations. This is a must-read for all physicians seeking to make healthcare in America more accessible to their patients across the USA. If you don't like to read, you haven't found the right book yet. Get your copies of the book, Perception of Physician Influence on Healthcare Accessibility, on Amazon, Apple Bookstore, Kobo, Nook, Google Books, Publishers, and all major digital bookstores across the globe. Contact Dr. Samuel Jacobs-Abbey via Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn through the JA Global Institute. Get your copies now.
All right, folks from around the world, welcome back to our Changemakers Forum. Before we pause for a break, I did mention that today we are going to discuss and talk to Ambassador Dr. Regina Inem, who I can say that in the last couple of weeks, probably a few months, I have come to know and love her. I have followed her work. I personally took time to research on the internet, from LinkedIn to YouTube to her organization to Facebook, to read every single profile of her just to understand the work she does. And I am so excited that today she is joining us to talk about her work. So a brief profile of her. Ambassador Dr. Regina Inem is a dynamic Nigerian businesswoman, educational consultant, and a philanthropist who has established herself as one of Africa's foremost entrepreneurs. She holds a degree in agriculture, a postgraduate in education, a master's degree in educational psychology, executive, a master's degree in project management from the UK, a doctorate degree in theology, and honorary doctorate degree in business management by the Swiss School of Business and Management in Geneva, Switzerland. And those folks, I used to live in Geneva. I used to station in Switzerland. So anybody who studied in Switzerland have an affection with me. Before venturing into business, Regina has been a teacher a school administrator, and the principal of the best schools in Nigeria. She is also an experienced school consultant and a researcher who has consulted for governments, organizations, and schools in Nigeria and overseas. Eventually, she followed her heart and great calling to founding her first company, Ragamos Consulting, a foremost educational consulting firm. A year later, she founded Ragamos Farm and Agro Ally Services. In obedience to the word of God and working according to his will and purpose, she founded the Ragamos Foundation with a mandate to help widows and their children, as well as orphan, youth, and vulnerable, taking away hopelessness and wiping away tears. She is a fellow of the Institute of Information Management and also fellow of the Unique Caribbean Business School, member of Organization of Women in Sciences for the Developing World, Young African Leaders Initiative, and alumni of ITC SME Academy in Geneva. She's a beneficiary of the She Trade in the Commonwealth project in Nigeria. She's widely traveled and has participated in conferences, seminars, and workshops in the United Kingdom, United Arab Emirates, Malaysia, and the US. As a teacher advocate, she is a Nigerian ambassador of 1 Million Teachers Inc., a Canadian-based NGO, an education advocacy and reform organization helping teachers in sub-Saharan Africa. She is an acclaimed public speaker and has been invited to speak at summits, conferences, seminars across the country and internationally. She is the recipient of more than 14 awards in various capacities, locally and internationally, for her contribution in the development of education in Nigeria and in Africa. And I must also include that she's a proud alumni of the Inspires Alumnus Network of the Jacobs-Abbey Global Institute for Leadership Studies, where she came out with an executive master's in strategic leadership. So, Dr. Regina, once again, welcome to Change Makers Forum. How are you and how is Nigeria?
Oh, Nigeria is fine. Thank you for the privilege to appear in the show. I'm really so privileged to be here. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. And well, I know I read a tall profile of you, but I always say that it is always good to hear from the horse's own mouth. You know, it gives an opportunity to validate what we read. Most of the time, when I sit in interview panels and I look at individual CVs and long profile, I said, "Wow, this is beautiful. Just tell me exactly what it is." And so, why don't you tell the world in a minute or so, you know, of who you are and what inspired you to do all the things that I read about?
Okay, thank you so much. I'm Regina Inem. I am an educational consultant, a lover of women, youth, and children. And that's why I've been in that space for up to 24, 25 years now. And my passion has driven me to achieving the little I've been able to achieve so far. So I would say I am a God-fearing person, which is number one. I love Christ.
Very important.
Then two, I'm a grandmother, a young grandmother.
Oh, very nice. You must be busy.
Then I just published my first Amazon book, Unleashing the Power in You.
Oh, that's right. I saw it. I saw it on Amazon.
So I am a God-fearing educationist and businesswoman that is passionate about impacting Nigeria and Africa. It pains me when I go around, I see so much of, poverty in the land in the midst of great wealth. And this has powered me to, give back to the society. In my early years in the education industry, the educational industry, they told me that the reward of a teacher is in heaven. And I saw teachers, most of them were living in poverty. And I told myself I was going to be a teacher with a difference.
That's right.
I single-handedly sponsored my training around the globe. I can't forget my first training in Dubai, where I went to, sponsored by the University of Cambridge. I went to learn about how to use ICT to teach in the classroom. I sold my shares to be able to pay my ticket. I sold my shares, all my shares. And I went there, got trained, came back, and changed the educational phase of the school I was in.
Wow.
And that propelled even the school management. Then I was just an ordinary teacher. I wasn't even a school, I wasn't in the school management board at all. That allowed the school management to pick interest in me. So who is this person? And before long, I was part of the school management team.
Wow. Oh, wow.
So I am passionate about children because I've worked with them all my life. And I see myself as, can I say, an evangelist that is supposed to groom children. It's not about the sciences that I teach. I'm a science teacher. But every child that goes through me must learn the sciences, must learn that biology and agric science, and be a better person and come out being successful. Most of my children, many of them are married today. They still keep in touch with me because I impacted on their lives positively beyond the academics.
That's right.
And that has made me, go into the work I do. So what I do in the foundation is, one, youth that are out there without formal education.
Mm-hmm.
I can't leave them that way. Because the truth is the government can't do everything. We all can't wait for the government. So what I do is organize trainings for them, leadership training, vocational training, skill acquisition training for free. You don't pay me a dime.
Wow.
For free. And I mentor them. Then for those that have a bit of education that have started businesses, I mentor their businesses and help them grow for free also.
Wow.
Then for the orphans, we have adopted Arrow of God Orphanage in Lagos, Aja Axis. And what we have done for them is we go there, donate food items, but we don't stop there. We're interested in their education. Inside of the orphanage is a nursery and primary school. So we have trained their teachers for free. And also after the training, we discovered that their ICT lab was really bad. All the computers, none was working. Wow. So what we did for 6 months, we tried to raise funds to help them. And finally, after a long search of looking for funds and help, we were able to get HP Foundation. So they came on board and visited the school with us. And they did something that really touched our hearts. They went beyond donation of the computers. They refurbished the ICT lab, as in the toilets, the lighting, the fans, everything changed brand new. The shelves in the library, all removed, everything changed brand new. The tables, the chairs, everything changed. And they donated computers. And I told them they have to also donate 1 laptop at least for the head teacher, which they also did.
Wow.
And not stop there. They now got another NGO to train the children on coding, animation, drones, and how to use the computer for 8 weeks. And we just concluded that about 2 weeks ago. Then we now trained the teachers on the use of Microsoft Office and PowerPoint presentation to deliver lessons for 3 weeks. Wow. We just recently completed that project. And finishing that project gave us so much joy. The children were praying for us. And for me, those prayers goes a long way. That is all I need.
That's right. That's right. And interestingly, you set off that way, because even talking to you, I feel so inspired already. Now, this is my observation. After coming in contact with you, I realized that you are a very busy person, but yet you are so dedicated. See, I pay attention to details, and I observe people from afar. I observe that you are very, 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 very consistent and very committed. Now, that leads me to ask, what is it that inspired you to go beyond the line of duty to bring inspiration to all these young women, widows, children around you? There's something, apart from your love for Christ and doing God's mission, there's something within you that actually triggers you to go above and beyond to work and to provide these resources to the underprivileged and vulnerable group of people. What is it that inspires you that much?
The passion to see change in my country. That is the driving force. What makes up a country? Individuals, people. What makes up the economy? The youth, the women. If you train a woman, you empower a woman, you've empowered the whole community. Then if you also empower the youth, you also empower the future of that country.
That's true.
And why I have done this is, if I refuse to do it, the youth you refuse to empower will come back and deal with you, because they'll be the robbers in your community. They'll be the ones to terrorize you when you want to drive out. That's and terrorize your children also. So why allow crime in my environment when I can prevent it by looking out for them?
It's interesting. A lot of people don't even look at it from the angle and the perspective at which you are looking at it, because if you bring empowerment to the people in the community, you are rather helping yourself by eliminating many forms of crimes and other dangerous situations. And people don't look at it that way. So thank you for bringing that up. Now, let me ask you this before we take a quick break. Now, the question that popped up in my mind is the Ragamos Foundation. I was thinking aloud. Again, something, of course, I read from your profile that you were inspired by Christ to do that. But I like to take Christ and not to take Christ as an institution somewhere, but your mission on earth has a purpose. And I believe it is one of those purposes that led into the establishment of these institutions. Yes. But when was it, and what actually happened for you to think that, you know what, just having this is not enough, I need to go one more step to include a foundation as led by the Spirit of the Lord?
Okay. For the life of every great person, they go through a lot.
True.
The life of every great person is not easy. Personally, I've gone through a lot in my life. I have been down there. So I know how it feels not to have anything. I know how it feels. There was a time in my life, my children were even out of school. I couldn't pay fees. Yes, I couldn't pay fees. So when God started blessing me, He put it in my heart that I should help people. And more so, I should bring people to Him.
Mm.
So people go through a lot. And the only way that I know that people can come out of that challenge, because I have been in a challenging situation myself,
That's right,
is to lead them to Christ. Because in Him is all things. So when I started the foundation, in short, the truth is I never even wanted to start any foundation. No, it's the truth. How it all started, close to where I live, a woman lost her husband, and she was left with 3 young children.
Wow.
3 young children. And this woman is about 35 years old, a young woman. Anytime I pass, I will see her face, poverty written all over. And see the children without dress, only pants on. So I would just greet her and go my way. One day I was in my house, the Spirit of God told me, see that woman, you have to take care of her. I said, Father, take care of who? What's my business with her? He said, go and meet that woman and help her.
Wow.
I fought for 2 days. I fought. I said, Father, leave me alone. What's my own with that woman? So when I couldn't stay, the force was so much. I stood up. I went to visit her. I shared my condolences with her. And I told her that I was going to help her. After asking how she was doing, and she told me all the things she was going through. I told her that, okay, I will take over from there. I will help her. Our children will go back to school. But the way I will help her is to expand her business. Because you can't help her to do everything. You have to empower her to be able to sustain it. So I gave her money to start up her business again because her business closed down. Then went back again and help her get, build a small shop where she can stay and sell her wares. Then, after many months, I used to send her money monthly. I couldn't reach her again. I sent my daughter to go look for her. They couldn't get her. I told them, you must get that woman home because I too couldn't sleep in my house. The Spirit of God said, I sent you an assignment. Go back and look for that woman. So after pressure, my children were able to, because I wasn't in Lagos, I was in Abuja.
Mm-hmm.
They got the lady for me. What she said gave a confirmation that God sent me on a mission.
Wow.
She said that day, before my call came in, she had a dream that she was crying and lamenting that why has God abandoned her. She said God told her that somebody would help her, that she shouldn't worry.
Wow.
She said the next thing was that a door, somebody knocked and I walked in. That was the first time I met her. She was telling me the story of how I've been meeting her. She said that was that first time I came to meet her. That was when I said, oh, really? So it was good. So she said this second one that I tried getting her, that God again appeared to her and said, help will come. And she saw me in a dream. And again, that same day, I called her. She now told me that I was an angel. I was like, oh, really? So really? So when I heard, I can't even relate all she said. When I heard what she told me, the Spirit of God said, I have sent you on a mission. this is a confirmation. Go and help my children.
Wow.
And that was how I now decided to properly register the foundation last year and continue to work as a registered entity. I've been doing this work for like 2 years, now 3 years, without registering. I would just help and go, but we got registered formally last year, March. And I would say I'm on a mission sent by God to humanity.
Wow. I mean, that's a very, very impressive to hear this story. And it reminds me when, the scripture says that if you hear the voice of the Lord, hearken not your heart, because clearly it's a mission being fulfilled, and thank you for doing that. And so we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we will dive into other areas of Ambassador Dr. Regina's work. And so stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Hello, welcome to Jacobs-Abbey Global Institute for Leadership Studies, a research, teaching, training, and leadership institute that critically provides strategic transformational thinking to leaders and students with the opportunity to develop and create lasting impact in their institutions. Championed by a world-class faculty, one-on-one executive coaching, and peer learning, our programs are offered both online and in cohort sessions. Jacobs-Abbey Global Institute for Leadership Studies partners with academic institutions, civil society organizations, local communities looking to accelerate the impact of their leaders, more effectively engage teams, and build inclusive cultures of employee engagement and performance. We offer courses such as certificate, diploma, and advanced diploma in counseling psychology, marriage counseling, applied psychology, child mental health, conflict and peace studies, international human rights law, security and governance, and in gender studies. For enrollment, email enroll@jaglobalinstitute.org or visit us online at jaglobalinstitute.org.
All right, so welcome back to Changemakers Forum. Once again, my name is Dr. Samuel Jacobs-Abbey, and I have the privilege of interviewing Ambassador Dr. Regina Inem today, and we are looking at her work and the foundation and the humanitarian work she's done around the world. So, Dr. Regina, welcome back. You had mentioned that you have worked assiduously both locally and internationally, and you have also received many recognitions. I've followed you on social media, and I've seen some of them, and I'm highly impressed about the recognitions. I tell people all the time that it is not the award, but it is a testament of the amount of work that you have put into bringing inspiration and hope to people. So maybe at this point, let's talk a bit about some of these recognitions. Can you share maybe 3 or 4 of the most top recognitions and what led to those recognitions?
Okay. Let me start with the first one, then the last ones.
Good.
Now, my first award, I just stayed and I had this phone call. I don't know the number. I said, "Oh, is this Regina Inem?" I said, "Yes." So we've read your profile, we're following your work. You have been nominated for an award. I said, "Really?" I said, where did you see my work? You know, how have you been? You know, I said they've been following my work and they've been asking people about me, people I've worked with and the lives have impacted, and they've been telling them so much about me. And that's how I got my first award. It came as a shock. I never even believed it. I never believed it.
You know, the thing about it is fulfilling when you have no expectation of it. You know, so yeah, you can continue.
So this year also, I've gotten like 4 awards, and in August I have 2 pending in August, and all still came in a shocking way. One from the president of the United Nations Social Council in Yemen. So I was given the Golden Ambassador Award. Then also from the same United Nations Golden Peace Shield Award. Then I was also given the International Mandela's Day Award. I saw this competition online, the top 10 African award. So I said, let me just give it a try. Maybe, you know, didn't really, let me just give it a try. And the process was so tedious. Bring this work, bring this evidence. I was like, what is the problem now? I'm just spending my life like this. So, my usual self, nothing intimidates me. I like finishing what I've started.
That's why I love you. That's why I love you. Nothing intimidates me.
So I finished the application and I submitted. The next time I got an email that I've been nominated, I've been accepted, I have won the award, and that I have won the Pinnacle Award. The Pinnacle is the topmost one. I said, really?
Wow.
The Pinnacle Award for the top 10 African award. I was like,
whoa. Wow. That's interesting.
So as you've said, it is not the award, but it gives me more power, more joy to say, oh, this little I'm doing, people are really seeing, and you know, I'm being recognized for it. So I just thank God for it all. And I know more are coming. As I said, in this August in Lagos, I have 2 more. They've already sent me a message, but all to the glory of God. The main award I'm looking for is the award of the crown I'll receive on the day, you know, the last day.
The last day of that, absolutely. And you see, I always remind people that the recognitions of awards on earth is a prototype of what you will receive, because you see, awards and recognitions is a proof of accountability. And so as we give accounts for our work on earth, it is recognized by human. In the same way as we fulfill the assignment by God, there is another reward and everlasting crown that will be received. So hey, I love it. I love it. Now let me ask you this. So Africa, it's considered one of the most rich continents on earth. Interestingly, Africa is also considered as one of, if not the most corrupt continent, or the most deprived continent with all its natural resources. Everyone who comes on my show get to answer these 2 questions. The first question I'm asking is that, what is wrong with Africa? And why is it that in spite of all these natural resources, we are unable to bring the light of Africa to the world?
Okay. The problem of Africa, number one, lies on the kind of education the colonial masters left us. I'm an educator, and by God's grace, I'm very versed in the Nigerian curriculum and the British one, because I teach both. Now, the curriculum that left African allows the African to read and write and not think. So critical thinking skills, creative thinking skills is gone. It's not there. And that is why you see them after graduation, they don't have jobs and they cannot think of what they can do.
That's true.
2, this same education has made their mindset to be deprived. So this mindset is deprived and they have low self-esteem. And that is why they will always exalt whatever is made in China, in Europe, in America, in Canada. The other day I went to the market, I wanted to buy rice, a bag of rice. And I asked, he said, oh, this rice is, this is not Nigerian made rice. This is imported rice. I said, who told you I was looking for an imported rice? So we are not proud of being African. And that's why everywhere I am proud to be a Nigerian.
That's right.
And I'm proud to be an African. Yes, I know that I've been saying you're a Nigerian, oh, corruption, corruption, corruption. However, the truth is that the Western world are more corrupt than Africans.
True.
They are. They cover up and spice it and ice it with cake. And they, everything about Africa is seen black, bad, and we accept it and we help them to propagate it.
That's right.
We help them to propagate it. And it is this annoyance that makes me to get into education. That's why the youth, the first thing I do with them before teaching them those skills, I first of all talk to their mind, the mind slavery. I have to free their minds from the slavery that they're in. And that's why even in 2023, elections is coming up in Nigeria. I am even entering into the political space.
That's right.
Because we cannot keep quiet and begin to continue to complain and sit at home and complain. For you to change anything, get out there and be part of them.
Absolutely.
And influence the policies and influence the government. We can't influence from inside your house.
That's true. That's true. And until you become a participatory individual, you can't effect a change because the change starts with you. And I completely agree with you because I strongly believe that the kind of leadership that Africa had has also contributed to our worst challenges, because if the most immediate thing is that African leadership resorts to borrowing from the Bretton Woods institutions, when you become dependent on the thing, they tend to control you and your abilities to achieve success. And so I clearly understand your frustrations, and I wish and hope that even as you enter into the political space, you will become very successful, so that I can also pride myself that I have a senator friend in the Nigerian Senate. For me, there's, like you rightly said, nothing is impossible. It is the steps of the righteous is ordered by the Lord, and it is not an individual who just wishes to become something. God will burden you, and sometimes when God burdens you, it creates commotion and confusion around you in order for you to be able to move forward to get results. So, hey, I am 100% in support of you. Now, another question that I will ask before we wrap up is, it is perceived that women are their own enemies. And every guest who comes to my show get to answer this second question as well. That why is it that with all the women empowerment, with all the women successes around the world, with over 54 countries in Africa, we can only pride ourselves with less than 1% of women in leadership, particularly in the presidency? And so the problem that, and I recall in 2016, when Hillary even stood for election, there was a report that came that women did not even vote for her. Now, what is it that is preventing or causing women to rally around themselves so that they will be at the realm of affairs?
Okay. The generation of women before now never supported themselves. Women are getting enlightened.
Good.
When I say women are getting, I belong to a lot of women forum, even my foundation. We are just 1 year old. Women leaders are the ones that have helped me.
That's
There
right.
are some organizations, key strategic organizations in Nigeria that I never even knew about, that a woman leader will say, oh, so you have this foundation. Okay, take this number, call this leader. They personally put me in there. So women are supporting women now because they know what is at stake.
That's
I'm
right.
talking from Nigeria's perspective. As a state, I belong to the Evolving Women in Politics. I'm the state coordinator in Akwa Ibom State. We have told ourselves we must get more women into governance and we'll do it together.
That's right. That's right.
So women are strategically planning as I speak. We have even told those women too, women that are already in governance, that begin to mentor women. They have what they call in Nigeria, they call it Godfather. I think it's a global thing.
It's a global thing now.
We have godmothers.
That's right.
We want godmothers that will mentor women, young women that want to get into leadership position. Because until we do that, things will change, won't change. The men have failed us. I'm not saying that, sorry that, what I'm saying is that we've always had men in leadership position in this country. And our economy, in the midst of great wealth, is plunging, nose-diving into the deep blue Pacific Ocean. We are saying no. And women are rising up, and we are supporting ourselves.
That's right.
So I would say women, if I say a woman, the woman is, if a woman is contesting, so I vote for the woman first before I think of the men. Because that is what is in my brain. Women, we have to support a woman to succeed because we have to change the narrative. And I use Sweden always as my model.
Yeah.
If you go to Sweden, you see more than 60% are women. And the country is really moving.
That's right.
Check out all the countries that are led by women and see the kind of success happening there. And check out the ones that are collapsing. Man wants to finish us in the world. But we're saying no.
But it's interesting though, because all my great supporters, people who have inspired me in my leadership path and my academic life, and are mostly great inspiring women who have, the likes of Dr. Nina Mayoff, and co. They have been, a real light to my path, other than God. And so it's interesting, but I hope someday we will change the narrative and we'll get more women in leadership. And because women are better managers, if they can manage their homes successfully, they can manage anything around them. So but before we go, if someone wants to know about your work and your foundation and your institute and the work that you do, how will they get to know if they want to be part and parcel of your program, if they have some tons of money or referrals that they want to send your way? How will they get to know this?
Okay. Before I answer that question, thank you for bringing this up. Now, our launch, the Ragamos Foundation will be launched August 8th. So I'm inviting you, sir, and on the website and the social media, we're going to post the link.
Okay.
Again, in August, we are going to Akwa Ibom State to empower 300 women, and this is a huge resource. It is so financially involving, so we really need help. So anyone that wants to help us, Ragamos Foundation, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, and Regina Inem is on Facebook, is on LinkedIn. So you can reach me on those platforms anytime. And my email ID too is just Regina, my name, Inem 40. I opened that email when I was 40 years old. So that's why I wrote 40. At gmail.com.
That's good. That's good. We will put those information on the screen as well for our viewers to support. And hey, it's always good to support a social cause, because sometimes you may not know what your resources has caused in the life of an unknown person. But I have been there. I have supported many organizations around the world, and it gives me joy when I'm reading reports to see 300 students were empowered, 500 women were empowered, 30 people were put into a micro organism programs and all that. So I completely ask that everyone to support your work now in the future as much as you can. And then so but finally, before you go, I know you recently just graduated from the executive master's class. You can't end this conversation without talking about it. What is your perspective? What is your viewpoint, and how has that inspired you? I know you've attained a lot of qualifications, but how has that one little add-on helped in your work?
I learned a lot during the executive strategic leadership management course. I would say, took me to another level. There are things like the WhatsApp. I've been taking a business card and putting it on WhatsApp. But I never even thought of it, and I had a pile out there of business cards that I've never contacted till today. And some of them I can't even see where I kept them again. So I have learned so much. But most importantly, there are two things I've taken away from that program. One, the leadership of the convener, the founder of the institution, Dr. Jacobs-Abbey. He read through every message, every single. I was like, where is he getting the strength from? And anytime I go to the platform, I will see so much of message. I was like, can I read all this? I was responding to everyone, inspired everyone. So I now told myself, I have to learn. I don't know where he got it, but I think I need to learn this from him. So I have taken that with me to respond to everyone. Everyone is important. Yes, I was doing it, but I think I need to go more, doing that. And again, the students, everyone so helpful, so supportive. My group, we're doing a project and it was like 12 midnight and I was begging that I need to go sleep, but everyone supported, and we were as if we were a family, and we just met online. And the feel was as if we were a family. And I'm sure I can authoritatively tell you that Dr. Jacob made that happen. So I would say anyone that wants to learn how to be a fantastic leader, please enroll in Jacobs-Abbey Global Institute for Leadership. Is a fantastic institution, instruction fantastic, facilitators fantastic and mind-blowing, and the networking is out of this world. So it's a place to be.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's a very powerful endorsement, and I sincerely appreciate that. We are very grateful. And so, folks from around the world, once again, it's a pleasure to have Ambassador Regina Inem with us at the Changemakers Forum. As you may have heard from her, change is important, and so every aspect of our contribution goes a long way to effect a change in the lives of not only us, but the people around us. When you are inspired to support others, others will be inspired to support you. Let's continue to work as a team, and let's use the knowledge acquisition of skills, technicalities, and all the academic knowledge to make a social impact in our lives. It is not enough just to keep to ourselves, but to befriend someone. As Ambassador Johan Bird would always say, there are many sheep in the world, but friendship is always the best of sheep. So let's continue to focus and use those friendships to achieve a purposeful end for our lives. It's a pleasure to host this program today. And once again, thank you so much, Ambassador Dr. Regina Inem, for being on our program. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Doctor. It's a pleasure. It's my honor to be here. Thank you for the privilege.
Grace Faraja Kundabantu, and I'm the founder and CEO of African Gazelle Foundation. African Gazelle Foundation exists to bring change by supplying girls with a free education. Our mission is to provide education to as many girls as possible, for we believe that by educating these girls, education will not only benefit them, but it also benefit their nations, their communities, and their families.
I am Sandrine Muera. I am in class 8. I come from a family of 9 members from DRC Congo. That is my parents and 7 siblings. We are 5 girls and 2 boys. I would like to appreciate the African Girls of Hope Foundation for the support you have given me. You have paid my fees, and my hopes of a brighter future is guaranteed. I'm confident that my goals of becoming a doctor will one day come true.
Many of our girls are orphaned by war. These are the girls that have gone through different atrocities, different wars, and different circumstances in their lives.
I'm in class 7. I come from a family of 8 members, 6 girls and 2 parents. My hometown is in Bungoma, one of the most remote areas in the country. I was taken by my aunt who took me when I was young, and she came to live with me in Nairobi at her place to support me because my parents were having challenges in paying fees. Most of the time I was sent home because of fees. When I grow up, I would like to be a journalist. I appreciate African Girls Hope Foundation for support, and I promise to work extra hard as a way of showing my appreciation and earn good results. Thank you very much, and may God bless you and bless the work of your hands as you continue helping girls to achieve their goals and pursue their dreams.
These girls have gone through a lot of difficulties, but as an organization, we believe that we can bring hope and bring smiles back to their faces. Join us, support us, and let's help the most vulnerable in our community. God bless you.
These girls need our help. We need to support as many girls as possible. That's our mission. But we can do it by ourselves. We need your help. We need to stand together and give hope to these girls. Let's stand together as we transform the lives of these vulnerable girls and young women who are the future generation of our nations.